And that is at the Milimani High Court. But now we join our reporter Fred Kagonye, who has been following up this matter at the High Court. Good afternoon to you, Kagonye. Now, very well today, the matter has started at the courts with a three-judge bench listening to the arguments from both sides, with President William Ruto, the government today, saying that they want the matter to be taken to the Supreme Court. Just take us on the arguments that happened in the court, Kagonye.
Thank you very much, Aseto. We are coming to you live from the Milimani courts, where the case challenging the impeachment of Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua was set to start today. It started, but the petitioners, there were several cases that were filed at the Kerugoya High Court, which were consolidated, and a three-judge bench consisting of Anthony Murima, Eric Ogola, and Justice Frida Mugambi was constituted to hear these petitions, which are, number one, challenging the impeachment of Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, and then number two, there were orders that were given barring the Interior CS, who has been nominated as the replacement of Rigathi Gachagua as the Deputy President, from being sworn in. Now today, when the parties appeared before the three-judge bench, among the many issues that they have raised, that have been raised by the petitioners, is the constitution of that bench. Their argument, led by Counsel Kibe Mungai, who's representing one of the petitioners, he was saying that this bench was constituted, was rather empaneled by the Deputy Chief Justice, yet Philomena Mwilu, yet this should be done by the Chief Justice Martha Koome. And on the respondent side, led by National Assembly lawyer George Murugara, and then you have the Senate lawyer and Kisumu Senator Professor Tombo Jenda, and Peter Wanyama, who's representing the Senate Speaker. They argued that Philomena Mwilu is Martha Koome's deputy. In Koome's absence, then she can assume her roles and discharge the duties which, on a normal day when the Chief Justice is available, she or she is supposed to discharge. So that is what has dominated this case from morning. And another application that was being made by the petitioners through lawyer Ndegwa Njiru was that this three-judge bench is biased, because remember, there's a case that was seeking to stop the impeachment process, and it came before this judge, and it did not succeed, because it will be remembered the Deputy President filed not necessarily through himself, but a number of cases were filed seeking to stop that whole impeachment process from the National Assembly all the way to the Senate. And among the other things that they have argued is that that three-judge bench is biased. So the Deputy President's lawyer, that is Elisha Ongoya, said, and he proposed this to the courts, that before we proceed to any other issue, the issue of how the three-judge bench came to be should be decided upon. And the presiding judge told the two sides to make that formal application, that is the petitioners to make that formal application which challenges the constitution of that bench. And then for the respondents in this case, the National Assembly, the Attorney General, the Senate, and the Deputy President himself, who is being represented by Dr. Adrian Kamoto, to file their responses, and then they will make their ruling at 2 p.m. on whether they have been well constituted. Aseto.
We discussed matters to the empaneling of the three-judge bench and whether it is legal. There is also the matter that the president has filed, that is matters to do with the matter should actually be heard by the Supreme Court. Has that been canvassed in the hearing earlier in the morning?
When the lawyers were making their submissions, the president's lawyer, that is Dr. Adrian Kamoto, made that known to the court that the matters that they are presiding upon, the matters that they are hearing, are reserve of the Supreme Court. But looking at the Constitution, the Supreme Court has two roles, that is to issue advisories to either the national or the county government, and number two, to preside over presidential election petitions. But that issue has not been argued by the two sides. It's only that when he was making his submissions, he raised that issue. And the presiding judge was quick to stop any more contributions or any more presentations before them, saying that if that was to happen, then the arguments would come from the petitioner side, from the respondent side, and to go on and on and on and on and on. So he refused to give any other chance to anyone to continue making their submissions, and that's when they made the move to move the proceedings to 2 p.m., where after the formal application has been made by the petitioners, and then a response has been filed by the respondents. Then at 2 p.m. they'll come back and then they'll make a ruling.
Fred Kagonye there joining us from the Milimani High Court, who has been following the case that has been filed by the impeached Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua. We shall be heading back there at 2 p.m. to listening to the rulings that will be given by the 3-judge bench. But until then, let's take a